Welcome to Freed on Business. He grew up in South Florida, has been in business here since the early 90s, and has closed over $3 billion in deals. He's seen it all. He always has an opinion, and he's always ready to share it. Informed, entertaining, and connected, he has his finger on the pulse of South Florida's business community. He's Jim Freed, and this is Freed on Business.
Oh, this is tremendous. Sorry I'm dressed up like a gangster today, but I'm broadcasting live from my favorite dive bar in downtown Delray, the OG. There's to my buddies at the OG right there. We're going to have a great time today. We're on with Dr. Norman Rosenthal for the show today. Dr. Rosenthal is going to talk. Rosenthal, I'm really sorry, Doctor. Rosenthal is my wife's best friend. Dr. Norman Rosenthal, who's going to talk to us about the impact that poetry can have on our mental health. I'm very excited. My mom writes poetry, Dr. Rosenthal, so I'm very excited about this. We'll get started by thanking our sponsors, and of course, in the second half, I'm going to be talking about the impact that the construction defects are having on the condominium and apartment market in Miami. Boy, are you going to want to hear that. So, Reagan, rock it. I'm Jim Freed, and everybody knows by now that we're South Florida's longest running business talk show. I've been on since 2008, and our friends at Warren Henry have been sponsors since 2012. I guess by now, we must sell a couple of cars for them. Remember, if you're looking to buy or lease a car, you want to get every advantage that you can. That's why you have to check out Warren Henry, Land Rover, Range Rover, Infiniti, and Jaguar. Their new store at 151st and Biscayne. High five to May Stark, my personal maintenance person. She takes care of us. She makes sure we're like the Warren Henry family. You want an Audi? They've got them up in Gainesville. Anything else? They're all available at their store down in the Keys. I'm probably going to get my Jeep there for when I go do my farm deals up here in Palm Beach and Martin County. What do all those vehicles have in common? Well, they're all great cars, and they all come with the Warren Henry Advantage. What's the Warren Henry Advantage? Well, that's a whole list of stuff that I forgot to bring with me today, but it includes, they give you dent repair, free key replacement. They'll make sure that you love your car. You get 72 hours to love your car, but the main thing that you get when you work with the guys and gals at Warren Henry, you become a member of the Warren Henry family, and you can't buy that almost. It's tremendous. You feel great, and they love you. My mom, my wife, my friends, me, we're all members of the Warren Henry family. You should be too. Always the best price, always the best service, always Warren Henry. All right, and after you've chosen kindness, remember, give me a call because I use kindness in real estate. No, that's not an oxymoron. I work with, at this point, a lot of the sons of my friends, and I help them execute the real estate transactions. I add a little bit of gray hair, a little bit of telephone book. They add a lot of great energy, and together we get it done. So if you need some help with your real estate transaction, give me a call. Actually, I can't give out my number since I got hacked the other day. So just direct message me or find me anywhere you can. Jim Freed, everybody with the name hates me. They're all on page 4. So remember, when you call me, it's always all about you.
Welcome back to Freed on Business. Connect with us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at Jim Freed or at Freed on Business, and on Instagram at Jim Freed1. Now, back to your host, Jim Freed.
All right, we're on with Freed on Business, and we're on with world-famous psychologist Dr. Norman Rosenthal. He's got a great new book. He talks about prescribing poetry for the pandemic. I can't think of a better prescription. Welcome to the show, Dr. Rosenthal.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Thank you for being here with us, Dr. Rosenthal. So first, a little bit about your background. Tell us your level of expertise in this field so that we can understand your perspective.
Well, I'm a regularly trained psychiatrist who also got my research training at the National Institute of Mental Health. I treat all kinds of people and coach them, but I'm perhaps best known for describing seasonal affective disorder, or SAD, and using bright light to help people who suffer during the winter. It doesn't happen to you guys so much in Florida, but up here, the winters are dark and light can make a big difference. So I've always looked for alternative ways to help people. And one recent way that I have stumbled on is the use of poetry. And in my practice with my patients, I find that if you choose the right poem for the right situation, you can really make a very big impact in a very short time.
I can completely understand why. I think that one of the main things that you can do to help yourself relax is to distract yourself with something calming. So I think that if something that's calming and melodic and is on point for me can be selected and shared with me at the right time, it makes absolutely complete sense that would relax me.
It's true. Sometimes I might have a couple in my office and they're fighting about who's right and who's wrong. And really, the point that I want to try to make with them is, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? Because you can't be both. And sometimes I use a very simple little poem by the ancient but wonderful poet Rumi. Can I recite a few lines here for you?
I hope that you would. I'm hoping that you'll recite a few different poems live to help me and my audience relax and get a taste.
Here you go. Out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field. I'll meet you there. When the soul lies down in that grass, the world is too full to talk about. Ideas, language, even the phrase each other doesn't make any sense. So there you have it.
Thank you. That was
quite
wonderful.
Aside from who's right and who's wrong, let's go to a field where we can lie down together in the grass, maybe hold each other's hand, and talk about the things that really matter, not who's right and who's wrong.
Tremendous imagery and so absolutely right on point. Oh my God, I'm going to play this stuff for my wife when I get home. Give me another one, doctor. I don't want to even talk to you. I just want to listen to the poem.
Yeah, here's another one by the same guy, Jalaluddin Rumi, 1200s. So old and so potent, still one of the most popular poets in the country. This is called The Guest House. Okay. This being human is a guest house. Every morning a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all, even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. Still, treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whatever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond.
You're already my favorite guest. Did you pick that one out just for me?
Well, I had a feeling based on listening to the intro that you might enjoy that. So yes, in a way I did.
Oh my gosh, I really do appreciate that. Yeah, I don't want to turn this into a personal session. My wife and I have been really abused by this national apartment developer who's trying to use their playbook to force us out of their building. I'll talk about that in the second half of the hour. But it's incredibly stressful for us. And my wife's been recovering from a kidney transplant, which it took me 4 years to find the kidney. So you can imagine the level of stress that we've been under and absolutely dire fear. All I want to do is keep her calm, centered, and focused so that she can be the best that she can be. And if I can do that, then I'm sharing the best of me with her.
Well, let me say, firstly, I'm sorry for the issues, and I'm glad that you found a kidney for her, but it's still a hard road. And the book that I've written, Poetry RX, is meant as a consolation, a source of comfort, a source of joy. It's got 50 poems, and each one lays out the poem, a little description, the takeaway points, the things you can take away, and a short bio sketch. I should mention for your listeners that I will be at Coral Gables at Books and Books this coming this coming Monday evening.
Monday evening?
Monday evening, the 26th of July, Coral Gables, 7 o'clock, Books and Books. And my website, people should know because it's the best source of information, is normanrosenthal.com. That is normanrosenthal.com. All the information about upcoming events and so on are there. So you'll get all the details you need to join me. And I will be interviewed by the wonderful Bob Roth, who's the head of the David Lynch Foundation. And we will have a great conversation. Anybody, maybe your wife, would enjoy listening in, but we'll be on Zoom. So please join us.
It's going to be tremendous. And where can people pick up the book, Dr. Rosenthal?
The book is available anywhere. Amazon is a great place, as always, and it's called Poetry RX. Bookstores like Books and Books in Coral Gables stocks it, obviously, because they're having an event. And but it should be available anywhere. And it's been such a joy to hear how much comfort and enjoyment and enlivenment it's given to people. So thank you for allowing your audience to hear about it.
My pleasure. My question to you would be, do you have the ability to do another segment with us, another 10 minutes or so?
Yes, I could do that. Absolutely.
That would be tremendous. Could you please?
I'll dig up another poem for you.
That would be great. Thank you so much. You're such a blessing to our entire community, and I'm so glad that you're coming to Miami, which is still in the throes of a very difficult time, and a lot of people are really hurt over this thing that happened in Surfside. Thank you so much for bringing your blessings and kindness with you, Dr. Rosenthal. We'll be right back after, I got to say it this way, I sell a couple of cars. This is the part where I remind everybody we're South Florida's longest running business talk show. We have tremendous guests like Dr. Rosenthal. I want to thank Lisa Paley. Usually when I get somebody that's outside of my usual realm, it's Lisa Paley. She's amazing. She's the one that's given us the Silver Knights. Dr. Rosenthal, she adds incredible depth to our programming. Thank you so much, Lisa Paley. And remember, Dr. Rosenthal will be in the Gables on Monday at 7 o'clock at Books and Books. If you're looking to buy or lease a car, you want to get every advantage that you can. That's why I have to check out Warren Henry, Land Rover, Range Rover, Infiniti, and Jaguar. Up in Gainesville, they sell Audi. Down in the Keys, they sell them all. They've got the Lamborghini Broward. Usually I'm wearing my hat. I left it at home. My bad. Anyway, what do they all have in common? They all are great cars, and they all come with the Warren Henry advantage. That's a list of great things that you get. All kinds of extra things. You get a free service loaner. They replace your keys if you lose them. They polish up your wheels if you get them scraped. Everybody does that in Miami. You're trying to park your car. Hey, if you don't like your car after 3 days, you can return it. You don't get better than that. So join me, my mom, lots and lots of my friends, and of course me. We're all members of the Warren Henry family. You can be too. Always the best service. Always the best price. Always Warren Henry.
This is Becca Carlson from Carlson Integrated. You know, a lot of our clients find that they can do anything, but not really everything. We are always excited to jump in and help. So whether you need another set of hands for a project or even comprehensive marketing management, our team of marketing mavens would love to have a conversation with you to see if we are the right fit. We do everything from logo and design work to email outreach and social media to writing and thought leadership. And here's a fun one. We are now offering our fabulous ebook of top 10 marketing tips on our website for free. So head over to carlsonintegrated.com and grab a copy today. And please always let us know how we can help. My email is Becca, that's BEKAH at carlsonintegrated.com. That's BEKAH at carlsonintegrated.com.
All right, and don't forget to call me. I'm caring and kindful too. Rebecca's tremendous. She helps a lot of my clients market themselves and brand themselves. She's great, and she's happy and kind. I love her. Remember, if you're looking to do a real estate deal, give me a call. I'm here to help. I had a friend of mine I hadn't seen in about 15 years call me this morning if I could help him get a first mortgage on his condo. I said, of course. Then I went and I met with another friend of mine, asked me if I could help get him an equity and debt structure to 95% of his cost to build his apartment project, like $100 million. And I said, I can do that too. So I've got kind of a pretty broad range of skill sets. Give me a call. I work with mostly my friends' kids now. Lots of sons and daughters call me, and I help them bridge the gap between their knowledge and what they know in my generation. And together, we make great real estate deals. In fact, I'm sitting in one of their bars right now, the OG, which is the bar in downtown Delray. Boom. So if you need help on your real estate, give me a call. It's always all about you when I call. Remember, when you call me, it's always all about you.
Welcome back to Freedom Business. Connect with us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at Jim Freed or at Freedom Business, and on Instagram at Jim Freed1. Now, back to your host, Jim Freed.
I'm with Dr. Norman Rosenthal. I want to thank Lisa Paley for bringing Dr. Rosenthal to our attention and booking him on the show. Dr. Rosenthal, I want to thank you for all the help you're giving to all the people that you'll never meet. You're tremendous.
Thank you.
It's my pleasure. Dr. Rosenthal's been reciting a couple of poems to help me and my wife calm down. The fact that he can get this beast calm is amazing. So perhaps there's hope for all of us. Dr. Rosenthal, thank you for doing another segment with us. Have you picked another poem that you think might be applicable to our audience?
I actually have two, if we have time, but they're not long.
Great.
The first is called Invictus, very famous poem by William Ernest Henley. Nelson Mandela on his prison fortress at Robben Island recited it often to keep his spirits up. Here goes. Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloody, but unbowed. Beyond this pale of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade, and yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how strait the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. You know, it's very interesting. A lot of times we get past our point in our life where we became in contact with literature on a frequent basis, and we kind of lose track of the impact that it can have, especially in today's small and fast-paced social media and television media-driven society. Thank you so much.
Now, I thinking about your wife and thinking about all of us, really. I have one. I have not included religious stuff in the book because, you know, everybody's got their own religion, and I didn't want to intrude.
I live in the 1970s where we don't talk about people's religion.
But there is one that I just had to include. I hope it's okay. It's Psalm 23.
100%.
The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever.
There's a reason that's a biggie.
Yes. Absolutely. It's a universal healing principle. for anybody who's suffering, for anybody who needs just that extra bit of comfort and sustenance. That's the one to look at. So those are some of the examples of the way in which poetry can elevate the spirit, comfort us, give us enlivenment, give us new ways to think about stuff. And I'm so grateful to you for having me on your show and sharing my joy in this book, Poetry RX, with your audience.
It's my absolute, it's almost my duty now that I know about it to do that. Thank you for coming on. What prompted you to look into this aspect of impact on people? How did you come up with this idea?
I've always resonated with poetry, but in one conversation where a friend of mine called me late at night and told me about losing a loved one and how will he ever manage. And I didn't know what to say. So I said, losing is an art. And he is a man steeped in culture. And he said, have you read the poem One Art? I said, no, I haven't. And he then proceeded to read this amazing poem that's actually poem number 1 in my book. Because
how do we not read that one? You got to go.
That was when I just knew that poetry could transform us. And here it goes. One Art by Elizabeth Bishop. The art of losing isn't hard to master. So many things seem filled with the intent to be lost, that their loss is no disaster. Lose something every day. Accept the fluster of lost door keys, the hour badly spent. The art of losing isn't hard to master. Then practice losing farther, losing faster, places and names and where it was you meant to travel. None of these will bring disaster. I lost my mother's watch, and look, my last or next to last of 3 loved houses went. The art of losing isn't hard to master. I lost 2 cities, lovely ones, and vaster, some realms I owned, 2 rivers, a continent. I miss them, but it wasn't a disaster. Even losing you, the joking voice, a gesture I love, I shan't have lied. It's evident the art of losing's not too hard to master, though it may look like, write it, like disaster.
Thank you.
So when we were finished with that poem, I could hear his spirits lift on the phone. And funnily enough, my spirits lifted as well. And I thought, wow, this is amazing that poems can actually affect how we feel, how our mood is, all these things. And so I went about starting to ask patients and clients, are there any poems that have had this effect on you? And before I knew it, I had 50. I had to kind of trim it down because there were so many things people stuck on their fridge or stuck behind the door. And that meant so much to them. They read it again and again. Little poems, short poems. And I thought, wow, this is something that as a healer, I need to think about and I need to share with other people. And so that's what I've done in this Poetry RX.
Thank you so much for sharing all of this with me and my audience. Thank you to Lisa Paley, who knows how to hit me right between the eyes. That lady's amazing. I look forward to giving you a hug on Monday at 7 o'clock at Books and Books, perhaps socially distanced, but nevertheless a hug. Dr. Rosenthal, our community and our society is greatly improved by having you as a part of it. I can't thank you enough.
My joy and my thanks, blessings to you on your lovely show, and all the best to your wife.
Thank you so much for joining me today. I look forward to getting you on the show again in a few weeks because I know you got a bunch of other ones, and I want to hear your favorite one that you didn't include in the book. So that's where
Absolutely. Always fun to talk about my favorite topic, and would love to do that. So take care now.
God bless you, Doctor. We'll flip at least when it's up on. But thank you for making my life so much better today. I can't
thank you. Bye now.
Bye now. Reagan? is where I go. We're South Florida's longest running business talk show, and I want to ask everybody to please give me the point of personal privilege, because the guy nailed me with the poems and made me cry, and I had to go get myself composed. It's really tough when you got this mask on, and I'm wearing the mask because I'm at a bar, the OG bar, the Top Dive bar in Delray. If you go to Delray and you don't go here, well, you just didn't see Delray. And remember, I want to thank our friends. We're South Florida's longest running business talk show. Our friends at Warren Henry are one of the reasons why. Thank you to Warren. Thank you to Larry. Thank you to everybody there. Thank you to Abe, Samantha. I love you all. Remember, if you're looking to buy or lease a car, you want to get every advantage that you can. That's why you have to check out Warren Henry. Land Rover, Range Rover, Infiniti, and Jaguar, they're all great cars. And they really do all come with the Warren Henry advantage. And I list a bunch of things that they give you that are business things. But the best thing that you get is the energy field when you go to the place. Everybody there is tremendous. Larry promotes from within. They've all earned their positions with years of hard work and commitment. And they're all great people. The cars are great too. Land Rover, Range Rover, Infiniti, and Jaguar up in 151st and Biscayne. Gainesville has Audis. The Keys got all of their cars. I'm probably going to get a Jeep down there. I love those Jeeps. They came out. They're really cool looking. They all come with the Warren Henry advantage. But like I said, the best thing is the energy field. Join me, my mom, my beautiful wife, Vivian, lots of my friends. We're all members of the Warren Henry family. You should be too. Always the best price. Always the best service. Always Warren Henry. Yeah, she talks about kindness and all that other stuff. It's my favorite PSP, a public service announcement. That's why I run it. It's the theme I use for business. You see it behind me. Right now, most of my business is done with my friends' sons and daughters. It's really a wonderful feeling. I love working with them. They're kind, gentle people, and I love guiding them and giving them my knowledge. And together, we're going to really do good things all over the state. Call me if you need a real estate deal. Residential, I just helped one of my clients' daughters close her deal for $400,000. After this, I'm going to go to a meeting where we're going to talk about $100 million equity and debt investment to build multifamily. You need it? I got it. Why do they pick up the phone? I think by now you know why. Everybody just wants to be part of something good and happy and positive. And that's what I bring to the table with my friends. Can't say call me anymore because somebody hacked me and FDLE came after them. So just find me, DM me, look me up on the internet. I'm everywhere. You can't miss me. Jim Freed. Why do you call me? Because when you call me, it's always, and I mean always, all about you.
Welcome back to Freed on Business. Connect with us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at Jim Freed or at Freed on Business, and on Instagram at Jim Freed 1. Now, back to your host, Jim Freed.
All right. The first part of the show is all about making me and my friends and the audience calm with the doctor of love and kindness. This will be the other half of that coin. We're going to talk about what's going to happen to all the people that live in what I call the brisket and mildew buildings on the beaches and in town in South Florida and actually across all of Florida and perhaps up and down the coast of the United States and interior as well. They're all going to have their homes repriced. It's happening right now. They're going to be repriced based on what it's going to cost to bring them up to the level of service that you can actually feel comfortable with. The building I live in is a perfect example. If you go up on LinkedIn right now, you'll see videos of the ground floor of my building. After this, I'm going to have to do the work that I have to do, and then I'm going to call my wife, and I'm going to see what we can do to get out of that building as fast as possible before it falls down. I'm not sure that it's going to fall down, but it sure looks like it. And after the one in Surfside fell down, mine appears to be a ripe candidate. The basement has been flooded for months. There's temporary things up all around. And last night I found plaster on the floor that came off of rotting beams just today. My friends in construction say that process simply accelerates, and at a certain point, it's irreversible. I have a message for Aimco, the idiots that bought the building. It's time to evacuate the building, pay people what they need to be to be relocated and compensated for what you've done to them, and then knock the building down and sell the land or build on it if you want. But that building and that structure, unstable and unsafe from top to bottom. How do I know? I've been from top to bottom. Take a look at my website and you'll see. Now, what's going to happen in the other buildings? This is what's going to happen. It's already happened. They've already been repriced based on the cost to rebuild the units. Now, the unit owners are going to have to come to grips with that, or the tenants, or the owners of the building. Then they're going to have to make a decision. That $15 million recertification lipstick on a pig plan ain't going to fly. The ground penetrating radar showed you it's a $40 million fix. Now, you can either go as a condo board and go borrow that $40 million from I don't know who, or you're going to have to sell. And guess what? They're selling. I have friends that are in the business that are already lining up the money to buy these buildings, or at least refresh them. The biggest companies in town have already been making calls. How do I know? I've been getting them for months. I have the capital and they know it. My capital's already picking the winners on this. The winners will be the people that move first. If somebody moves first and is kind to the residents, well, guess what? They'll become the solution of choice. So far, out on Miami Beach, one group just threw everybody out within days. Probably not who a condo board is going to select as their champion of choice. Other people I know give people 18 to 24 months to find a place to go. Not where I live. There they gave everybody 60 days. Widows and orphans, not orphans, but widows for sure. I don't know if any of the other people were orphans. I never asked them. But widows for sure have been tossed on the street because of Aimco, and it's happening all over the country. It's a social problem. Most of these B plus and A minus buildings are located in tremendous locations, but they're old. Are they sound? I'm not sure. I don't know what the issues would be up north, but down here, maybe, maybe not. What happens when the sinkhole forms underneath the building and the sand that's been between the pilings goes away? Well, I think you saw that in Surfside already. And I'm wondering what the dirt underneath the foundation in the Hamilton looks like. I'll bet it ain't pretty. So we're not the only ones. I just have the incredible access to the incredibly disturbing pictures. Again, go on LinkedIn, on Jim Freed's LinkedIn page. You'll see them. I want you to comment on them. If you comment on them, the video that I have, which is slowed down by the LinkedIn algorithm, will expand. And then more people will see and they will learn what's going on in our society. In our society, yes, capitalism reigns and everybody has the right to tear down their building and make a lot of money, but not on the bodies of other people, not on the hearts and souls of other people. There has to be a compromise and a way through this that works for everybody. I recently talked to a friend of mine who buys shopping centers and redevelops them. I said, hey, if you bought a shopping center that had tenants in it that you didn't want, what would you do? He said, I'd go right up to them and I'd buy them out, right up front, so they wouldn't make any trouble. Well, hi, Aimco. You've already cleared out all the people in the building. There's only a few left, the ones that couldn't move. Why don't you go to them and be kind and considerate and help them move and pay them for the trouble that you put them through? It's been really horrible living in that building, and it's only going to be repeated in other buildings. The buildings and the condo boards will have a choice. Their choice will be what process do they want to have and go through to modernize their building. And like I said, they'll all hire a structural engineer. There's already a brand new business. They've already been buying their machines. They'll be here. They'll be going all around the state telling everybody how unsafe the structure is and how much it's going to cost to fix it and how it's already past the point of no return in places like probably my building. And then they'll need to make a choice. Some of the condo boards are going to go, some of the condo directors are going to go, hey, we'll give you the deal if you give us a break on the new condo. Well, maybe somebody will do that, but eventually that will go away. Transparency will win, and then everybody in the place will be all angry. People are going to have to find the people that are experts in this. There's only a few. I have friends that have done it repeatedly. I know capital that wants to get this done, and there's going to be incredible amounts of capital required. These buildings will be $100 million a throw to do. That means that small players won't be involved. It'll be a cyclical opportunity The capital's already on the sidelines. They're already picking the winners and losers, and people that are in the business probably already know who they are. But again, the issue is really what happens to the people that live in these buildings. They call them home. A few years ago, it came to my attention the topic of called food insecurity. That's a horrible thing. When people aren't sure about when they can eat, where they're going to eat, what they're going to eat, they go to sleep at night hungry. That's a very bad thing. Right after that on the list is home security. When I was campaigning for city commission, I went to the West Grove, which is under incredible gentrification pressure, and I talked to the residents that are there, mostly African American, and I told them I understood what they were going through. You know, most of them didn't realize that I really did, because I'm also in a building that's being attacked by gentrifiers. Now, gentrification can be managed and handled in a very good way. It needs to be addressed on a block by block, house by house basis. I work with a number of developers that are involved in urban land use assemblages, and in most cases, the people are thrilled to get offers from them because they know they'll close and they give them enough time to make other plans. We all need to come together. The world is changing. Some people are going to live urban. Some people are going to live suburban. Some people want to live horizontal. Some people want to live vertical. But the number one thing we have to realize is the housing stock has aged. And by the way, no one's talked about office buildings yet, have they? So let's just talk about apartments and condos. Apartments and condos are under incredible pressure in South Florida and other Florida cities. There's attorneys that represent these condo associations. They're being talked to right now about what is the liability, what are our options. Smart condo boards already know their options. The smartest condo boards already know who to call. I know I do, and I'm talking with them right now, and I'm going to provide them with capital. It's an incredible generational opportunity. And what am I going to do? I'm going to provide capital to people that are caring, to people that will give people time to solve the issue, to people that know that they're going to be working with people whose homes are upside down, whose lives have been turned inside out by the opportunity. But they'll have to make a deal because the alternative is something they just cannot do. So rich people with lots of money are going to be able to live in these high rises in the at-risk locations. Other people will have to find other places to live that have lower cost profiles that dovetail with their incomes. This is a national problem on the way. I've taken my post from today and I've sent it to our Congress people, some of whom I've known for 30 years personally from the real estate business, others who I've known for 40 years from UF. And I'm going to make this a national issue. We'll talk more about it after the break. Mr. Mendoza, time to lighten it up. Part of the show where I remind everybody, yes, I've been on since 2008. I've done, I don't know, almost 700 of these now. I've had tremendous guests like that doctor. What a great guy he was. I loved him. Thanks again to Lisa Paley for putting him on. This is where I talk about my friends at Warren Henry. If it wasn't for my friends at Warren Henry, I don't know where I'd be today. One of the best things I do is go to their Supercar Saturday event all the time. And I feel love and kindness from them. I know deep down that they care about me and my wife as people. And that means a lot to me. And guess what? You do business there, you'll get the same feeling because everybody that does business with them becomes a member of the Warren Henry family. Land Rover, Range Rover, Infiniti, and Jaguar up at 151st and Biscayne. That last segment really got to me. Up in Gainesville, they sell Audis. Down in the Keys, they sell them all. What do they have in common? I already told you. They're all from Warren Henry. They come with that energy field. You become a member of the Warren Henry family. There's a whole list of great benefits that they give you. But the most important one is the kindness that they show you. and the way that they build from within, you become part of an amazing team. Join me, my mom, my beautiful wife, Vivian, lots of my friends. We're all members of the Warren Henry family. You should be too. Always the best price, always the best service, always Warren Henry.
Becca Carlson from Carlson Integrated. You know, a lot of our clients find that they can do anything, but not really everything. We are always excited to jump in and help. So whether you need another set of hands for a project or even comprehensive marketing management, our team of marketing mavens would love to have a conversation with you to see if we are the right fit. We do everything from logo and design work to email outreach and social media to writing and thought leadership. And here's a fun one. We are now offering our fabulous ebook of top 10 marketing tips on our website for free. So head over to carlsonintegrated.com and grab a copy today. And please always let us know how we can help. My email is Becca, that's BEKAH at carlsonintegrated.com. That's BEKAH at carlsonintegrated.com.
Hi, I'm Jim Fried, and I do generational real estate deals. What the heck is that? I'm up in Palm Beach in Martin County today meeting with landowners. They're all the sons of people that owned the land for years, or maybe they assembled it. What am I doing with them? I'm adding a little gray hair, a little phone book, a little credibility, and we're going to do special things together. I can do that with you too if you want. Reach out to me. Direct message me, email me. You know how to get me. Can't give it out on the phone because they told me not to. The cybersecurity guys are after me. So find me, Jim Fried. Everybody on Google hates me. If they're named Jim Fried, they're on page 4. But remember, if you reach out to me and you call me, it's always going to be all about you.
Welcome back to Fried on Business. Connect with us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at Jim Fried or at Fried on Business, and on Instagram at Jim Fried1. Now, back to your host, Jim Fried.
Hey everybody, we're broadcasting live from downtown Delray, my favorite place to be when I'm in downtown Delray, the OG bar, with my good friend Brian Rosen and his team. It's an amazing place, but get here early or you're just not going to get in. Okay, we're talking about what's going on in real estate with I call them brisket and mildew buildings. You go, why do I call them brisket and mildew buildings? You ain't walked through them if you're wondering why. They smell like mildew. That's what we call toxic mold now. And they smell like brisket. That's really pot roast. And so when you walk through these buildings, they're not airtight. They smell like crap. You smell what everybody's eating. You can hear them talking. And the number one thing that's going on under your feet, I can guarantee you, is deterioration. Something we haven't really heard a lot about recently, but happens all the time when we pump water out of the aquifer, is saltwater intrusion. Guess what? I think that the water that I see around the basement in my building that hasn't moved in months is salt water. And I wonder what that salt water does when it comes up and down during the hydrology of high and low tide to the rebar in the foundation of that building. Then I wonder what it's doing to the other buildings that are just as old as mine, up and down Biscayne Bay and up and down the beach. And the answer is it's corroding them at an incredibly increasing pace. Okay. What happens if you live in one of those buildings? Well, either you're a renter and you get kicked out like me, or you're an owner of a condo and you have a condo association. And the condo association has been kicking the repair bill down the road for years, because no one wants to pay for the roof that somebody else is going to use. Guess what? The bill came due last month. We're all trying to figure out what that bill really is. The original lipstick on a pig plan cost $15 million. Now they've got to spend $40. They've got a choice. Their choice is to call a lender that doesn't yet exist, but will probably come out of some place like New York, or they can sell. And when they decide they're going to sell, they're going to have to pick the right team to do it with. There's a group on Miami Beach kicked everybody out right away. Don't think they're going to get a lot of condo associations going to like them. Other guys I know that talk about doing this kind of business say they'll give people 18 to 24 months. Let them rent if they buy their condo. All kinds of different plans, but they're humane. As people go through this life-changing process, being moved from places that they thought they'd live forever, the person implementing change needs to be compassionate and kind. The person that's compassionate and kind and is well-funded and is smart and has good execution capability, they're going to be the winner. They will be flooded with cash and opportunities. How do I know? Let's just say I know. What's going to happen to the rest? They're going to be in the secondary place. They're going to go with developers that don't necessarily treat them well. They're going to go with people that aren't well capitalized. And guess what? You already know. They're going to have problems. So, if you're a condo board member, my mom's president of her condo association. I'll bet you wouldn't have guessed that, right? If you're president of a condo association, or you're a member of a condo association, or you just live in a condo, take a look at your minutes for the last 2 years worth of meetings and make sure that somebody is hiring somebody with ground penetrating radar, and they're going to take a look at your building. And make sure you talk to your neighbors and you come together and make a plan that works for you. Find the right lawyer, find the right realtor, call me if you want. And I know I can take you to the right people that are going to do this. I know the team that has the heart, the cash, the expertise that want to do this, and they're going to do it with kindness and professionalism. They've already done it. Guess what? The capital's found them, and you know the vehicle the capital used. Oh, yeah, you do. That vehicle's talking to you right now. So that's right. If you want to execute your plan during this generational opportunity for condo redevelopment and apartment redevelopment, and you're on the condo board, as we say in Miami, Yamame, call me. I'll introduce you to some wonderful, thoughtful, kind people, and their tagline is "We solve for yes." Isn't that just tremendous? Yeah, just like any other deal, I've got the full capital stack for this stuff. I've got the senior loan, I've got the guys that wrap the senior loan, and then I've got the equity. I can get this done with simply friends and family money. That's really important and powerful, because that means that the sponsors that have put the deal together can take out equity that doesn't want to take the risk of the next part of the deal, treat them kindly, recapitalize the deal, and move it forward in a way that's not stressful. Because the number one thing that brings stress to people in a real estate deal is having that real estate deal poorly capitalized and being ventured with a group that you have got a divergence of interests. You need interest alignment, you need kindness, you need strong capital partners, and then you need to come together to make the deal. Are you listening, condo associations? I hope so, because you're going to have to wake up and smell the coffee and then make the move. So call me. I'm happy to talk to you about everything involved in the process. I'm happy to introduce you to the right lawyers, architects, even the right acquisition and development team. That's right. I know people with the right experience. I know people that will treat you with respect and kindness. They have a track record of already doing it, so it sounds like they're the right people. This isn't going to be a fun trip. This isn't going to be a good time. If you're not, I'll say it, if you're not my age, you haven't seen something like a 10 or 15 year development cycle like this is going to be. There'll be a pipeline of these. The winner will be the first mover. The first mover will need the right capital. And that capital will need to be flexible and open-minded, and I think Unlimited. Can you see my, I'm going to do it. Unlimited. So call me. You know how to get me. I have friends that are doing this now on both the capital and operations side. I can get it done for you in a good, kind way. Or you could treat people like Aimco has been treating the people at the Hamilton. You'll get a very bad reputation. I don't think that a lot of people are going to want to do business with Aimco in the future after the way that they've done this. You just don't come to Miami and crap on people the way they have and get away with it. Money can't clean away the stink that they're doing. And if that building falls down with one person in it, they'll be liable, and they know it. And I don't think they like it. I, for one, am trying to get out as fast as I can. It's not easy to find a place to live right now. I may have to move into a hotel and put my stuff in storage. Just think how much more that's going to cost. So tonight, my wife and I are going to have a very pointed discussion about where we go from here in the Hamilton. It's going to be a similar discussion that people in the brisket and mildew buildings are having every single day. And if you live in one of those brisket and mildew buildings, call me, DM me. I know how to help you out. I can make sure that you and the rest of your residents in that building are taken care of the right way with kindness, respect, and the big C, cash. This is Jim Freed for Freedom Business. I'll be on next week at noon. You all know why. It's because I love doing it. I want to thank my sponsors, Warren Henry Automotive, the NFL Alumni Association, the Bergstrom Center for Real Estate Studies, and all the other people that make my show go. I love you all. I want to thank you, the person that's watching or listening to the podcast. Without you, I wouldn't have a podcast. You mean the world to me. I'll be on next week at noon. Why? Because I just love doing this. And remember, take the mask off for this. The person that wants to do something finds a way. The other finds an excuse. Now go out there and make it happen. God bless you. God bless the United States of America. And again, thank you to my friends at the OG Bar for setting us up this week. Reagan, take it away.